Hi there, this is Aditya Karadkar and welcome to the Brainstorm Codings. In this video, we're going to be looking at the last type of decision making statements, which is known as the if-else-if statement. And the if-else-if statement is also known as the if-else-if ladder. So here user can have many options. We can check for more conditions, and if one of the conditions is satisfied, then the whole if else if ladder will be bypassed even if we have certain conditions below it. So let's say we have three conditions, and if the first condition is satisfied, then the compiler will not even go to execute or will not even go to check whether the other two conditions are satisfied or not. If the first condition is satisfied, then the first if block will be executed, and it will just bypass the whole if else if ladder. So let's have a look at the flowchart. This is the flowchart for if else if statement, and let's assume that we have these two conditions. This is the if statement and this is the else if statement. So if the if statement happens to be false, then the flow goes to the else if statement. Here it will check for this second condition, and if this condition happens to be true, then the body of else if statement will be executed. If this condition happens to be false, then the body of else statement will be executed. And if the first condition is satisfied, then the body of if statement will be executed. And always remember that the else block will always come below the else if statement. It won't come before the else if statement. So you have to first give the if condition, then you will have the else if condition, and then you will have the else block. So let's look at the syntax. We have the first if keyword, then we have the parentheses inside which we will have the condition. This will be the block of if statement. Then we have the else if. This is the else keyword. This is the if keyword which makes it else if. And again we have the condition, block of else if. Then we have the else statement, block of else. And we can even have more than one else if blocks. So if I copy this and paste it here, you can see we have two else if conditions to check. So this is the syntax for the if else if ladder. Let's get into code. Let's create one variable which will hold the value 500. Then we have this condition to check. So if a is equal to 100, then it will execute this body of if statement. Body of if statement. Then we'll have this else if block. This will again check for the condition if a is equal to 200. This is the body of else if statement. Then we will have this else block, which will say body of else statement. If I run this code, you can see the body of else statement, and this happened because a is not equal to 100 and it's not even equal to 200. We have given it the value as 500. So if I add another condition here, another if else if block, and if I paste it here, and let's check if the value is equal to 500, then we'll say variable a holds the value 500. Let's run this code, and now it says variable a holds the value 500. Now as I said, If one condition is satisfied, then the whole if else if ladder will be bypassed. There will be no checks for other conditions. So we know that this 500 is greater than 100. So if I check for this condition and if I run this code, we have the body of if statement. Just because this condition is satisfied, 500 is greater than 100, we have the result as the body of if statement, and it didn't even check for the other conditions. Even if a is equal to 100, we have this condition. If a is equal to 100, and obviously a is equal to 100, a is equal to 500, still it didn't print out this variable a holds the value 500. It just checked the first condition, then it happens to be true, and then it just bypassed the whole if else if ladder. So this is how the if else if statement works. If you have more than one conditions, then you can put them into else if blocks. So that's all about the if else if ladder. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and our this topic, decision making statements, is also finished. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.